how it's come back, and you guys were having talks within the league. How is that going, and what's happening on the sports side?
Well, there's been a little bit of progress, Chuck. We in the NBA anyway are most likely going to open our practice facilities to our players this Friday. We do have our own guidelines, similar to the guidelines that we've created here, and we'll be practicing all of the guidelines, that we put in place for Orange County, even on our practice facility with our players and our coaches. But at the outset, we're only going to be allowed to open for individualized workouts, only 4 players in the facility at a time, only 1 player at a basket at a time, only developmental coaches and support health staff available in the facility, everyone wearing a mask, including the players, only, when they're actually working out, they won't be wearing it, but every other time they're in the facility, they're going to wear it. We're going to go through a complete deep clean sanitization every night, overnight, so that the facility is deep cleaned, for the players the following day. And so that's our phase 1. And, similar to what we're doing, here on this committee in the county and in our local areas doing, we're following the data. And the data is going to drive when we get to phase 2, and phase 2 will be when, greater staffs and coaches can come into the facility at the same time, team type workouts, et cetera. And then in the meantime, our task force at the league is studying how do we get back to playing basketball again. And again, following the data, looking at every possible model. So a model, could be playing in our home facilities without fans. Another model could be playing in a centralized facility where all of the teams in the league come to one or a couple of locations around the country and play the games in that atmosphere, potentially without fans. So all of those models are being studied. The data will drive it. Hopefully it'll be sometime later in this summer. Obviously our calendar has shifted now. And our league has decided that we're going to try and get in as much of our regular season and playoffs as the data will allow us to. And we'll play as late as Labor Day if we have to, and even delay. As was reported this past week, we've been having initial discussions about even delaying the beginning of next season based on trying to get as much of this season in as possible. So similar tracks, and discussions happening in our league anyway. And by the way, we're consulting with all of the other professional sports leagues as we go through this as well. Similar types of discussions as we're having here about a phasing approach, about a safe approach that's based on the data of cases, not just in, our county here, but in all of our cities around our league. With the ultimate goal of getting back to business like we're talking about here as quickly and as safely as we possibly can, based on the safety of our players and our coaches and our staff, and most importantly, our fans.
We wish you luck on that. I know everybody wants to start watching games again, and it's going to start on TV and not in stadiums. We wish you luck. Are there any other